Today's topic is sexual harassment at workplace. We are dealing definition of sexual harassment, brief facts of the case Vishaka case and Vishakha Guidelines on sexual harassment at workplace issued by the Supreme Court of India. The sexual harassment, it is one type of gender based deviance. It is seen in the whole world. It is a worldwide phenomena. Women are the mainly victims of the gender based aggressions. In this video, we are discussing gender based aggression on working women. It is sexual harassment in workplaces. What is the definition of sexual harassment? Sexual harassment includes all unwelcome sexually determined behaviors such as physical contact and advances, sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, and request for sexual favors or any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal actions such as whistling, obscene jokes, comments about physical appearances, threats, innuendos, gender-based derogatory remarks. Now, Vishaka case. Brief facts of the case. The Vishaka and others versus State of Rajasthan and others in rate petition number 666 to 70 of 1992. This writ petition is filed for the alleged brutal gang rape of social worker in a village of Rajasthan. This is brought by certain social activists. Intention of the writ petition is to find an effective alternative mechanism to oblige the social need urgently. So, sexual harassment is the violation of fundamental rights of gender equality. It is a violation of Article 14, Article 15, and Article 21 and Article of the Constitution, and violation of the fundamental rights under Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution of India. What is Article 14 says? Article 14 deals with equality before law. It means equal protection of law to all, to men and women. Article 21 deals right to life. Right to life means right to life in dignified manner. Article 15 says prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Another Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution, it is a fundamental right. It says anybody can practice any profession or to carry out any occupation, trade, or business. The sexual harassment is the violation of fundamental rights of gender equality. The violation of fundamental rights under Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution to practice any profession or to carry out any occupation, trade, or business. The fundamental right to carry on any occupation, trade, profession depends upon the availability of a safe working environment. So, in this case, notice of the petition was given to the state of Rajasthan and the Union of India. So, sexual harassment, sexual violence, and equality of employment. Equality of employment means what? It can be seriously affect when women are subjected to gender violence such as sexual harassment in the working place. The need for act protection against sexual harassment at working place. So women's involvement in work becomes unsafe and it affects the right to work with dignity. It affects the working conditions or creates a hostile working environment. It may endanger the victim's job and job performance. So, sexual harassment means it includes verbal innuendo, inappropriate affectionate gestures, or propositions for sexual favors or molestations. Now, Vishaka Guidelines issued by the Supreme Court. Why is the Supreme Court guidelines prescribed? Because this present civil and the penal laws in India don't adequately provide specific protection of women from sexual harassment in workplaces. It is necessary for employers or other responsible persons to observe certain guidelines to ensure prevention of sexual harassment of women. What is the duty of the employer or responsible person in workplaces or other institutions? It is the duty to prevent or to deter the commission of the act of sexual harassment and provide procedures for the resolution, settlement, prosecution of sexual harassment. The Supreme Court developed the broad based guidelines for employers. These mandatory guidelines are known as Vishaka Guidelines for Prevention of Social Sexual Harassment. It applies to all women, whether students, working part time or working full time, contract workers, voluntary workers, or honorary workers. These guidelines include following acts: sexual harassment, physical contact and advances, showing pornography, and request for sexual favor or any other unwelcome physical non-verbal action such as whistling, obscene jokes, comments about physical appearance, threats, and innuendos, gender-based derogatory remarks. Now, important guidelines given by the Supreme Court. Employers are required to take the following steps. They must formate a complaint committee in any institution or organization. Employers should make the employees aware of the implications of sexual harassment by making in-house communication system, posters and meeting. They must prescribe penalties against the offenders in their rule book. Standing orders should be issued under Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946. This is applicable to private employers. So, these employers make provisions for good working condition in respect of work, leisure, health, hygiene, and no hostile environment towards women. So, no woman should think that she is disadvantageous position and with her employment. So, the women private company employers have to include the prohibition in the standing orders. Appropriate working conditions should be provided. Women victims of sexual harassment to be given an option to seek transfer of the place where they requested, and or they may ask the transfer of the accused perpetrator of the offense. Vishaka Guidelines says that in all organizations should form a complaints committee to look into the allegations. Who are all the members of the Constitution Committee? Complaint Committee. Complaint Committee should be headed by a woman employee. More than half of its members should be women. All complaints by women employee should be directed to the committee. Committee should advise the victims on further course of action. It is the end.